In this video, we're going to have a look at merge queries, the first of the combine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of almost everything that we did in the last few sections. Just have it so that we have our raw data. So these are our file names. This is the path, which contains the album. Now, you can categorize these albums. This one, for instance, is a sampler. It's got music from all over the place. Further down, we have an audiobook. Further down, we have opera and that sort of thing, popular music, maybe. So what I'm going to do is I have, in my Power BI spreadsheet, a spreadsheet called CD categorization. And that categorizes the various paths of albums into these CD types. So what I want is a extra column in this query which has that type. So in Excel, this would be the equivalent of a vertical lookup. So what I'm going to do first of all is get the data of the CD categorization as a second query. So let's get from a recent source, and this time we're getting the CD categorization. Click OK, and it loads, no problems. So how do we combine these two together? Well, first of all, I want to promote this first row as headers. So how do we get these two queries together? We use merge queries. And we've got two options: merge one query into an existing query, or merge them into a third query. So I'm going to merge from CDs. I'm going to get in CD categorization. So I'm going to merge queries. So this opens a dialog box with my existing query at the top and a second query at the bottom. So I'm going to call this second query the CD categorization. And it says, okay, how do you want me to match them? Where are your columns which are going to be the same? Well, it's the path in this column and it's the path in this query. Now, there are various join types. If you are used to SQL Server, then you will understand immediately what left join, right join, full join, inner join means. Alternatively, have a look at what's in the brackets. So left outer join says it's going to take all of the rows from the first table and any matching rows in the second. So where they don't match, where I've accidentally deleted one of the categorizations, I haven't categorized it, and it's completely blank in both path and CD type, we're still going to keep our existing table. So you can see all from the second table and matching for the first, all from both. That would mean that it would have to be either in the first table or the second table. Inner, it had to be in the first and the second. Left anti and right anti, it's where there is a match, you get rid of it essentially. So it's used for trying to exclude certain data. So maybe you had something that said grand total and you wanted to exclude the grand totals. If none of this is making much sense, then just know the major ones you will be using are left outer, where you're keeping your original data always. Inner, where you're only keeping your original data where it matches something with the second data. And full outer, where you're keeping both sets of data regardless of how they match. So let's have a look at left outer. And here you can see that the two queries have been merged. Now they've been merged together in a table. So because each match doesn't just have one column, it has multiple columns. Now we can expand that quite easily by clicking on this expansion button. So if I click on that, it asks you, what do you want to expand it to? What column do you want to keep? So this is the equivalent of choose columns. So I could keep the path, but I've already got the path, so I don't need the path again. So I'm just going to keep the CD type. Now, if it says use original column name as prefix, then the column would be CD categorization dot CD type. Well, I don't need that in this particular case, so I'm going to detick that. Now, if these contained numerical values and you wanted to sum them up, then you could use the aggregation instead. So you could sum the columns instead of having them as separate columns. So let's click OK, and our CD categorization is now replaced by the CD type. So here we have the sampler, audiobooks, opera, and so forth. So obviously what you can now do is close and apply that. And because we have this new column called categorization, CD type, we can put CD type in there. And now we can see the difference between sampler and Christmas and classical and so forth.